This is Lloyd Richards, reading The King of Pontrhydyfen. I met him once, my father said without looking up from his plate. Picking my jaw up from the floor, I asked him to elaborate. We were playing down at St. Helens, said he, against Nabarafon on Leith. I dropped 2 goals, kicked 3 penalties, and made a try that was scored beneath the posts. If memory serves, yes, I played pretty well that day. It was the same year I won my cap, and he'd come to watch us play. My father carried on eating as if nothing of import had occurred. I sat across the table from him, amazed at what I just heard. How is it only now you're sharing this, when you know he's an idol of mine? You never asked. There was no hesitation, and he carried on sipping his wine. So when did you actually meet him, I pleaded. Tell me everything that was said. We Welsh love a story, so sit back and enjoy how Burton and Dad broke bread. The Prince of St. Helens, they called my dad, an outside half of class. He could sell a dummy, sidestep for fun, and left many a flanker on his arse. Burton had famously quipped that he'd swap all of his Henry Fives for just one chance to play for Wales under Cardiff Arms Park tinted skies. In 1960, Dad put on the red, the 3 feathers close to his heart. Burton was Arthur in Camelot, mixing cocktails with Bacall and Bogart. After the match, my father continued, we went to the clubhouse for food. Our guest for the evening was one Richard Burton, who said, I don't wish to be rude, but is it all right if I pop this bottle of Remy Martin under my chair? I'm the captain, and it's all right with me, as long as you're happy to share. So said my father, who was not a big drinker even then at his prime. But an evening with Burton, to paraphrase Dickens, was the best and the worst of times. Burton to me was more than an actor, more than a Hollywood star, more than the stereotypical boozer to be found holding court in a bar. He opened the door to poetry and Shakespeare, to Milton and Marlowe and more. He was the force that through the green fuse led me to Dillon's boathouse shore. Lazy critics would quote the Faustian Pact and place it at young Richie's feet. I prefer to remember the voice of a god. Ambrosia never tasted so sweet. My father finished. The silence was louder than the cheers from the Old Vic front row, or the roar of 50,000 supporters watching Wales bring the Grand Slam home. I cried, Did you ask for his autograph? He shook his head and sipped his wine. Without looking up, No, he said, but the pissed-up bugger asked for mine. This was the story of how the Prince of St. Helens, my dad, my hero, my friend, drank brandy with a man who spoke of Martians coming to land, the King of Pontrhydyfen.